Welcome back to the TV podcast here with Sean, Poppa Rozaia, local comedian who will be at the Bendigo Comedy Festival this weekend. Let's get into the comedy because we went through the backstory.
Yeah.
Now, the reason I wanted to have you on is to just put to bed, well not put to bed, but I guess help endorse the history and the world of comedy. Because this TikTok generation, I just don't think they get it as well. I sound like the old man on the fence, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll go through some of obviously our favourite comedies of all time, our favourite shows. But I guess first and foremost, at the moment, who do you see as some of the industry lead? We'll get to locals in a minute, but I guess the industry leaders as a whole.
Well, I think the comedian I respect and like the most is probably Stuart Lee. Do you know Stuart Lee?
I don't know Stuart Lee.
Yeah, he's in the UK. He's been, pretty big since probably about 2005.
Yep.
But he developed from 2000. He grew up coming in the 90s, but then went away from stand-up for a few years and then came back around 2005. And he does a very unique style. So I really like that. So he talks about Stuart. He performs as Stuart Lee, but he talks about Stuart Lee the character.
Okay.
It's slightly different to him as a person.
Yep.
But it's probably the most annoying, worst parts of himself that he just accentuates.
Yep.
He's he can be quite pompous and he sort of grew up in that sort of really alt scene.
Yep.
But he can be the sort of, I'm trying to think of the real, not poser, the opposite of a poser, someone who's almost too much of a hipster.
Yeah. Okay.
So he sort of plays on that, but a little bit. But what I really like about him is he does an hour show every year, and he's got his audience. He just seems to have developed the whole thing brilliantly.
And that new material every time.
Every year.
So a bit like Chappelle, it's always, and Ricky Gervais, throw out the old stuff, it's fresh every time.
Well, I think this guy bags Ricky Gervais as part of his act.
Yeah.
That's part of his act as well. He will bag other comedians.
Yeah.
And I think Ricky Gervais has talked about Stuart Lee being one of his favourite comedians.
Yeah.
And Stuart Lee will make fun of Ricky Gervais for being a more successul but worse version of him. But I think it's all in jest. It's all in jest. He respects Ricky Gervais, I'm guessing. But he's got a similar Ricky Gervais. That sort of dry, slow style of Ricky Gervais.
Yeah.
He's got that.
The cadence.
The cadence. They've got a similar cadence and rhythm.
Yeah. How important, as advice for comedians, is that cadence and delivery? Because, you can watch two comedians do the same jokes, and one's blah, 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 blah in your face and it hits, or it might not hit. And then another will just be relaxed, slow, makes you engage, and then hit you with the punchline. Yeah,
and I think it depends on your personality and who you are. Some people have to be energetic. If I'm too energetic, it's not me. It doesn't. I'm much more slow on stage. Deliberate, yeah. And when I'm not, it doesn't really work.
Yeah.
I think it comes across as nervous for me.
Yeah, okay.
So, I think that, working out what works for you, what people find funny about you, and downloading that data almost and going, oh yeah, that works for me.
Yeah.
Being funny how you want to be, but also what are people actually responding to?
Yeah.
And then going and taking note, so being aware and, because some people, we joke in the, amongst comedians, some people hear phantom laughs.
Oh, mate, you see that? I'm going to reference Kill Tony a little bit, but what you do notice that sometimes people pause for laughs and react as if they got a laugh.
Yeah.
But then also there'll be times where someone comes out and is getting massive laughs and cuts their act in half because they know they're getting the laugh and they just sit and let it marinate.
Yeah. Ride that wave or marinate,
Yeah.
And other times, especially when you're new, you'll get a joke that's working, but you're not used to getting such a big laugh. You start stepping on it.
Yeah.
So, it takes a while to learn.
You
need to let it marinate, as you say.
Yeah. Is that a bit like when the bloke come home with a duck under his arm and looked at his wife and said, "That's the pig I've been sleeping with"? She goes, "That's not a pig, that's a duck." He goes, "I wasn't talking to you."
Yes, exactly.
Too fast. My cadence should have been slow.
No, that's good. That's a good joke. I like that.
That's right. Super Dave. Super Dave joke.
Who's Super Dave?
Super Dave. Super Dave. I'm going to have to show you Super Dave, aren't I? All right, you tell us another one of the comedians. I'm going to queue up 3 Super Dave jokes for you. Clip. Whilst you fill us in, let me get there.
Yeah, who else do I really like? Just who are my favourites? I was thinking about this. I really liked Zach Galifianakis's live at the Purple Onion. That was a really good show. He hasn't done a heap of stand-up. I haven't seen a heap of his stand-up, but that show Like, I like that real weird style that he had.
Yeah.
Really slow, but then he was like playing piano. He was doing, it was very odd. It really got me.
The thing about Galifianakis is, no matter when you see a Bucks Day now, there will always be someone dressed like Alan from The Hangover.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and In Between Two Ferns is hilarious. Like,
It is hilarious. It's very good.
Yeah, so like he's got a different cadence and timing and offbeat, and Norm Macdonald like is probably one of the best joke tellers. Like he just has a real mind for like finding weird details.
Yeah.
Like what's the I'm trying to think of the joke. It's the joke where he goes about the neighbour who works at the university.
The University of Science.
The University of Science, and he just keeps on repeating the University of Science. But how did he know that would be funny?
Yeah.
To keep just saying the University of Science, he just has a real good mind for what. Because sometimes, there's nothing worse than you hear a story from someone and they just keep giving you bits of detail that don't matter to the story. It's shit.
Yeah.
It sucks. But also, you need some detail, and some detail will be really funny
to colour it a little bit.
Yeah. So like that balance, and I feel like Norm Macdonald is like the goat of that.
Right, let's listen to these couple.
Yeah. I'm keen to hear these Super Dave jokes.
Right, so Super Dave, he passed away last year. He was Bob Einstein is his name. He was originally Super Dave because he was basically like an evil Knievel type character. And he would dress up in the 70s and 80s and go on talk shows and do all these stupid stunts. And they just had crazy simple pub signs. But he's Albert Brooks's brother, and just in with the whole Jimmy Kimmel type crew. Jimmy Kimmel actually made a documentary about his life.
Yeah.
When I find the remote to turn it up, it probably might help. But we'll see how we go. Pause. Because there should be a Samsung remote. Oh, there it is.
Okay, we'll take a break and then we'll do the joke off.
No, we're not doing the jerk off.
No.
Joke?
Oh, it's a joke off.
No,
Yeah,
we're
wildly
not doing
different.
it. We're not doing
This is
it.
a
You
Norm
don't
Macdonald
think you
show.
think?
Yeah.
That's got nothing to do with that. Two women on a bridge.
Yeah.
One says, you know what, Helen, I've always wanted to pee off this bridge just like men do. She said, go ahead, there's no one around. So she goes over the railings, drops her shorts, sticks her ass over the railing. She says, come here, I'm going to pee right down there in that canoe. Said, it's not a canoe, it's your reflection. Goes into a dentist's office.
Yeah.
Dentist said, what are you doing here? He said, I think I'm a moth.
A moth.
A moth. He said, what? I think I'm a moth. He said, well, you have mental problems. You need to go see a psychiatrist. He said, I know. He said, you're in a dentist's office. He said, I know. He said, what are you doing here? Why did you come here? He said, the light was on.
That's good, Joe.
Clean.
Did you hear about the guy who's in a market and a woman comes up to him and she says, excuse me, are you Tim Curry? He says, yes. She says, you're the father of one of my children. He said, what? She said, you're the father of one of my children. He says, oh yeah, I remember. A few years ago, I met you at a stag party and we had sex at a pool table and you stuck a carrot and I cleaned up with your dress. Is that it? I said, no, I'm your son Johnny's sixth grade teacher at St. Bernadette.
Okay.
I got a bus driver's on a bus with one passenger.
I'll cut it there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I do recommend going to.
Oh, and I love I don't know if you've got anyone in your life that you like swap street jokes with. Like one of my mates, her old man is like, he lives in Berrigan, he manages a Berrigan caravan park.
Yeah.
So he's a real country sort of bloke. Well, he actually grew up in Sunshine, but real country sort of, larrikin sort of fella.
Yeah.
And he loves street jokes. So
Okay.
every time I see him, I'll go and so I'll have to look up Super Dave and get some of these street
Between
jokes.
him and Norm, you can.
Yeah.
Norm's are the long ones. These are a bit quicker.
Yeah, I'll go and watch YouTube and learn a few new street jokes every time I see him because he and I would just sit there having a beer and just go backwards and forwards doing street jokes to each other. So much fun.
They mentioned stag parties and there were box parties that we like to be called. Have you been? Did you be married? How many? Once, twice?
Twice.
And you're married at the moment.
Yeah, I'm married now. Yeah, didn't have a bucks party for this.
Yeah.
My second marriage, but I did have my first, and it was a bit of fun.
Are they like they used to be? You reckon?
Well, this is a fair while ago now, like I don't know, 2010 or something. I'm guessing around then. God, I should know when I was married, but
Are they loose? They loose, you reckon, or?
I don't know. But we went to Melbourne because I didn't want to embarrass myself in Bendigo.
Fair enough.
But yeah,
You come on this podcast.
Yeah, I know. I think it's too late for me now. My backpack party was fun. We went to Melbourne. Probably 15 blokes and just got drunk. But they stitched me up on the Bucks party because the 15 guys I was with, they all they got 30 shots.
As they do.
And they said, we'll have a shot with you each.
Yeah.
So I had 15 shots in a row. They all had one shot.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
And theirs were probably water.
Wow. This is probably, we've been going for a few hours by this stage. So next thing you know, I'm
Inside out and upside down.
I'm being sick.
Yeah.
And my old man's there and he's chucking the newspapers over it, trying to cover it. That's not going to help. So he's the only responsible one there. So he walks me back to the place we're staying at in Fitzroy Street in St Kilda. And I start being sick in the toilet.
Yeah.
And I can't remember this because I was a bit inebriated. But I started, because Dad was flushing the toilet for me as I was going, I went for a drink. He had to grab me by the back of the collar. No! Like a naughty dog. But anyway, so I go to sleep. A couple of hours later, some of the boys rock in and say, we're going to the casino, come with us. I'm like, oh yeah, I've had a 2 hours sleep now.
Yeah, ready to go.
Ready to go, I'll go into the casino.
Meanwhile, for the last 4 hours, all your mates have been doing is saying how soft you are.
Yeah, 100%. Go to the casino, we get in and everything, and get a drink or whatever. And I was like, hurry out, this place sucks. It stinks. This place stinks. And I looked down, I just had vomit all over me. And I'm going out to the casino. So yeah, that was my Bucks party.
That actually does nicely segue into another Super Dave joke.
Yeah.
Where he talks about the gentleman who was out drinking one night and he, much like you, got way too drunk. And he threw up all over himself. And the guy next to him goes, don't worry, we'll put $10 in your jacket pocket, just say someone else threw up on you, you get home and you'll be able to explain it all to your wife that someone else. So he gets home, his wife's going, what on earth, you smell like vomit, you've thrown up all over yourself again. He's like, honey, don't worry about it. It was not, I've had a nice sensible night. It was the gentleman next to me. He had too much, he threw up on me, and even as a way of apology, he put $10 in my pocket so I can pay the dry cleaner. And she goes, well, there's $20 in here. He goes, yeah, he's shit in my pants too. All right, we've went about current comedians. Give us some all time. I'm going to give you. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's do it like a draft.
Okay.
So you take the number one pick. I'm just going to fix this lappy, and I'm also going to get a prop.
Yeah.
As you are. Who is your number one comedian of all time? If you could watch any comedian.
Well, I think I'd say with Stuart Lee.
Really?
Yeah, so I'll change my contemporary one to maybe the one I like at the moment is Australian, is Sam Campbell.
Yep.
Really enjoy him, but yeah, I'd say Stuart Lee is my number one.
Your number one?
Yeah, my number one all time.
Well, I think for me, it's probably, well, actually, to be honest, it's probably the guy in this shirt, Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to see him. I've actually seen him 3 times. Twice
Oh,
on the one tour. When you were talking about shopping at the thrift shop before, actually, we'll save my story about being roasted on stage by Jimmy Carr and Jeff Ross, but I was told that I shopped at the thrift shop, and I'm like, well, yeah, I live in Melbourne, everyone does.
Yeah.
But I think, have you ever heard of Rudy Ray Moore?
No.
So this is where Eddie Murphy and Charlie Murphy got a lot of their comedy from.
Yeah.
And he's actually known as the, really the godfather of rap. So
Okay.
there's a movie called Dolomite. So he had a character Dolomite, Eddie Murphy plays Dolomite, but so Rudy Ray Moore used to go and basically do stand-up and sucked.
Yep.
But then started doing it over top of the jazz and the blues people, and then that's how the rapping basically started from there.
Yep.
So Stoop and all that do mention him as well, but that's a very funny listen. Do recommend Rudy Ray Moore. But I would say, I mean, if it's not Chappelle, it's Eddie Murphy or Richard Pryor, isn't it?
Yeah, it's hard because I've never gone back and really, I've gone back and listened to a bit of Pryor, but
Yeah.
haven't gone on the deep dive. But yeah, like Eddie Murphy just was like, I remember it was so hard to get, even just to get delirious at the video store.
Yeah.
It was always out, and it was like the quality was just getting so bad because it was just high and so much.
So rewound and rewound and rewound. Yeah.
So, geez, it was good. Like, it was just like, and he was like 19 at the time. Unbelievable.
Proper rock star too.
Oh,
Yeah, and he was doing Saturday Night Live, and then obviously Beverly Hills Cop and all that sort of stuff started coming out. The other ones we're going back and forth. I mean, I just dropped 2 on you. I get that.
no.
The next one I was going to say was Norm Macdonald. I think Norm and Gervais are the next for me. Gervais had a big influence because I was turning 18, 19, 20. The Office, Extras, Politics and Animals are coming out. You could use those jokes in clubs with people and it would hit. And like even just talking to someone at a bar is what I'm talking about, not even doing stand-up. When you can implement that sort of stuff in, I think it's pretty awesome. And I mean, you mentioned Norm, but yeah, anyone else kind of, I guess, from your younger era that you would think? I should have busted out the DVD. I've got the DVD collection over there. That. This is almost like a who's of comedy.
It's funny, like, I don't know, after watching so much like live comedy, like I think it's an art form that really is better live.
Yeah.
It's hard to watch a lot of like the big name comedians and really fall in love with it as much. Like, and maybe it's because I've seen it so much as well. Like, I want to see, like, I like seeing stuff that's different now.
Yeah.
Like, I like stuff that's off kilter, offbeat, you know, and different. But yeah.
Well, you also know the best stuff on the DVDs and that is usually edited out.
Yeah.
Particularly now on Netflix, you know the best jokes aren't even there.
Yeah. Well, I remember probably the best show I ever saw was Sam Simmons. He's I think it was Spaghetti for Breakfast.
Yeah.
Won the best show in Melbourne and won the best show in Edinburgh. Mm-hmm. And that's like, and you get that absurdist.
Yeah.
You know, but also he had really good jokes in that one.
Yeah.
And that mix of absurdity and really well written jokes.
Yeah.
Is just like peak for me. Like when you can get those two things like in synergy. Like
I think that's what Gervais does pretty well, particularly when he does like his Holocaust jokes, all that sort of stuff. Things are normally touchy topics.
Yeah.
Because he kind of goes to the extreme of absurdity, you can kind of bring it back. Another one I liked who did that a lot to get into the Aussie ones was Sean McAuliffe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's brilliant. Like,
yeah.
I always, growing up, I really like Will Anderson as well. Like,
yeah.
His longevity, his quick wit. Like, he's so, I think now I like a lot more people for their talking. Like, Mark Norman.
Yeah.
Like, his talking is awesome.
Yeah.
Like, his podcast humour.
Yeah. I think that's probably Shane Gillis is another one. Like, you can tell I'm obviously probably a little bit more American based myself, the Hinchcliffe and stuff, but Gillis just seems like, very relatable, just like having a normal conversation, not out there doing bits, even though they're bits.
Yeah, he's very conversational and like he just seems to like talk until it gets funny.
Yeah. Get some water, you right?
I'm okay.
Yeah.
He's hilarious and he's also just like, he's really good at doing that playful making fun of people humour.
Yeah.
Like he does it with all his mates and stuff on his podcast. Like you can just see he would be so annoying but so much fun to be around all at the same time.
Yeah, well I was watching one last night where it's just him improvising like people in the crowd and really showing out topics and he was just riffing on them.
Yeah.
Yeah. For those listening, I probably should have said this at the start, for those not watching but those that are listening to the pod. Sean, you talking about great Australian comics, you are a cross between Carl Barron, look like, and Andrew Schultz to go with the American. That's how I would describe your look right now.
Yeah, I'll take that.
So, and a bit of the Carl Barron, I don't know, just the wit, the gocko as well. When you're at your stage presence, it's a bit of that. I don't know. I'll take that as a compliment.
Yeah, a bit dry and on stage and a bit odd.
Yeah, your head's not as round. I think that's what makes also Carl Pilkington, not a comedian, but
funny,
kind of comedian, but he's very funny. His head is in the shape like a fucking orange, as they say. Well, I mean, we'll wrap it up soon because you've got to bounce. We're also pushed for time. Any personal inspirations that you'd like to, I guess, talk about growing up? I mean, you mentioned obviously Stuart Lee, but anyone else that you kind of actually? Oh yeah, sorry, go.
Oh well, growing up, I loved Seinfeld. Like, was obsessed. I think you're a big Seinfeld fan too.
Yeah, of course.
Like, again, like for me, it's when they get that. Like my favourite, maybe we can talk favourite Seinfeld episodes or favourite scenes. But my favourite scene is the pinky toe.
Okay, yeah.
When Kratos gets on the bus.
It's a valuable appendage.
You can make it stop. Well, they kept ringing the bell.
Making stops. Yeah.
You're Batman. I am Batman. Like such a good scene, because it's believable, because it's Kramer. Like Kramer would do something crazy, save someone's pinky toe and go on the bus. I'm assuming, I'm just making an assumption people know that scene. If they don't, it doesn't matter. But yeah, like I think that's why that's so funny to me. Is like his character is like it's not realistic, but it's believable that Kramer would do something so crazy. But just the absurdity of that, you know, and it all was based off Jerry going to Jerry got heckled by Kramer's girlfriend when he was performing stand up, and then he did the classic thing that every comedian's dreamed of, is going to their work and heckling.
Oh, heckling them.
He heckled her at her workplace, which is like a funny idea as well.
Yeah.
But then that led to this crazy story, so it just gets so absurd and silly. But yeah, that's my favourite scene. What's yours?
Well, I mean, I was actually going to say, I think I probably put Curb above Seinfeld now. Favourite Seinfeld episode, the one with the spit, turns into 45 degree.
Keith Hernandez.
Yeah, that one, I don't mind that one. I mean, obviously everyone loves the contest.
That's one magic Louis.
Yeah. Actually, I'll tell you what, my favourite one is the one with Terry Hatcher and what was the Johnny Cochran character? The lawyer. Anyway.
Who got you with the bonbon? No.
Yeah. Because I mean, Terry Hatcher.
Jackie Charles.
That's it. Because Terry Hatcher was obviously huge on Superman as well at the time.
Yep.
I don't know if you remember that. It's Lois and Clark, I think it was
called.
Yeah. And the punchline of the episode is they're real and they're amazing. So yeah, no, that one was a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Anytime there's like sport, I actually love watching back now with Larry David when he does Steinbrenner. I think that's just excellent. But also, I think probably
Curb. Just calzones.
Actually, when George is taking naps under the desk, I think we all found a way at work to try and do that one. But then, I think watching Curb now and understand more about Larry, you see that George is just a Larry rip-off for the most part. I don't know if that's makes Seinfeld tempered a bit, or if it actually makes you appreciate it more.
Oh no, I think it makes you appreciate it more. Like that, it's actually based on like the. You know.
It's not an absurd character. Like, Larry tells a story about how Jason Alexander came in one day, and he's like, I can't do this. This is stupid. No one would ever do this or say this. And Larry goes, what are you talking about? It happened to me on Tuesday. Yeah. He was like, what? I said that exact same thing.
Yeah. No, and my wife and I are actually going back and watching. We're watching Curb at the moment. I've never watched it.
Oh, wow.
So my mate Jim
How far in are you?
Only just the start of the second season.
Okay, well, season 6 it just starts again. That's when Leon is introduced.
Yeah.
5, 6, and that's and I really relate with Leon, as funny as that sounds. And just him, So you're in for a treat.
Sick.
And obviously, everyone, if you haven't seen Curb, you should watch it. It's all both loosely improvised. Well, not loosely improvised. They give you a loose storyline.
Yeah.
So you started with the documentary though, or do you start with season 1?
Season 1.
Yeah, so because there's actually an episode first that goes for 45 minutes. That was essentially the pilot.
Yep.
Which is a Larry David doco. And it's about him trying to get a job, but no one was to hire him because of Seinfeld. That's him as a Seinfeld guy. And then that sets up season 1.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen that.
Let's go back to the Aussie comedies quickly. I mean, I wrote down my top 5 Aussie comedies and put 5 and 4 to be inserted, but 3, 2, 1, the castle.
Yeah.
To me, I know of mates who absolutely go on about Chopper, like that's it, the mecca for them. But I mean,
Castles.
Or Young Einstein. As a kid, Young Einstein.
No, serious. That was sick.
Yeah.
I love that as a kid.
But
Reckless Cali.
I remember
seeing that. I remember seeing that at the cinemas. That was so good. Like it does not hold up. But I think he's still got a website out there, Yahoo Series.
But that's also why Americans have such that perspective of us, is those movies and Crocodile Dundee and all that sort of stuff back then, I guess. What is there any recent movies Aussie I mean, obviously the One Boy's a big one. Cracker Jack.
Yeah.
Aussie.
Well, there's one I'm in.
Oh yes.
The Emu War.
The Emu War.
Yeah. I'm an extra in it.
Yeah. When I saw something about that pop up lately.
It
might have been in your bio.
It might have been. It might have been that I shared it on Facebook.
Yeah. Is there something to do with that at the comedy festival?
Yeah, Tuesday night there's a screening of that movie.
Oh, so it's just coming out, or is it old?
No, it's only just come out.
Oh, so it's a fresh.
So
you need to plug the movie.
Yeah.
Okay, he's going to plug the movie there.
Well, because they filmed it in like 2000 during COVID, 2001, I think, in Axdale. So me and Ash Greblow, Jim Hallwell.
Cool.
We all went and helped out and did a few scenes. So
when's that? Yeah.
Next, Tuesday, whatever Tuesday is.
Yep.
Must be like
after Monday,
14th.
before Wednesday.
Yeah, the 14th of October, I think, at the Bendigo Cinemas at 8 o'clock.
Cool.
But I think there's only a couple of tickets left, like literally
and
2
then
tickets.
Is it going to stay on
Nah, no, it's just a one-off screening.
Yeah, okay. And so then where will people be able to watch it from there?
Yeah, I think it's available on Apple on YouTube. I think Prime as well. You can just rent. You can rent it for like $8 or whatever.
Yeah. So who was the producer, writer, director, etc.?
So writer director was Jonathan Schuster, who's like a
Yep.
very funny Australian Melbourne comedian.
Mhm.
And yeah, I don't really know like all the players, but it was a Hot Dad Productions.
Yep.
So yeah, they're a Melbourne production house that do like YouTube shorts and stuff. And, yeah, they're connected in with Auntie Donna and stuff. And
Cool. So how did you get involved with that?
just knew the guys through doing comedy with them, and they were looking for some people to come and help film. Or to be we're the soldiers fighting the emus, so our scenes are like running through the fields, attacking the emus with like guns and stuff. So yeah, they just hit us up and
Is
said,
there
hey.
real emus in this, or is it people dressed as ostriches?
No, it's CGI, the emus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're very...
But those emu actors will absolutely be spewing. I mean, all they're trying to do, these young up-and-coming emu actors, is to get a role, and then they have their job replaced by CGI.
Yeah, emu jobs matter.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, no, they'll be disappointed, but no, it's pretty absurd. I haven't seen it yet, so Tuesday will be my first chance to see it,
okay.
so I can't wait.
Yep. And so that's coming up. Any other recent ones that you've seen, you reckon, that are... Or do you want to talk about Aussie TV shows instead of movies? What are some of your favourite Aussie TV shows? Because I'll go Full Frontal.
Yeah, The Chaser was...
The Chase, oh yeah. What was it called before that? It was...
The Chaser's War and Everything.
Yeah. I thought it had a different name before that.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
I'm going to look this up.
Yeah. I got to open for Andrew Hansen when he performed in Bendigo, and if you had told me, like when I was into The Chaser at like 18 years old, I'm going to get to open for Andrew Hansen.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought it was in front of 17 people at Piano Bar, but I would have thought it was a bit better. But it was still fun. Like, yeah, he referenced one of my jokes in his set and stuff, so that was cool. And
That's cool.
He was an awesome guy.
What's the best venue to play at in Bendigo?
Oh, I'm not going to offend any of the bookers by picking a favourite.
One that you've probably had your best experiences at.
I think the Queen's Arms is the best sort of
Yep.
gig going around at the moment in Bendigo, so the first Thursday of the month.
Yep.
Queen's Arms. Yeah,
It's pretty funny down there. They had Ash. Was it Ashfield's Ummy? Is that his name? They had not meaning this in any whatever way, but who was the Chinese lady that was there a couple of weeks ago? About 2 months ago.
Her Hong.
Oh yeah, she was awesome.
Yeah,
very funny.
Yeah, really funny.
Yeah, it was considering after a night of, and I discussed this with her, is usually all comedians that I see lately, there's some sort of wank joke in there.
Yeah.
So it was a nice break up to actually see a woman do a masturbation.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was trying to look up the Chases War and everything. I can't find it. Maybe that's it. Maybe I was thinking of John Safran.
I also loved him as well. Growing up.
Growing up. Yep. And cool. So I guess before we wrap it up, I don't know what else you got going on in life other than the comedy world.
Oh man, I'm too busy. I do too many things. Like I've got a bad habit of picking up hobbies. So I've got 2 kids.
Yep.
But
how old are
a 20-month-old and a 12-year-old.
Yep.
So a big gap there, but
well, at least you know the 12-year-old can babysit the 20-month-year-old in a couple of years.
Yeah, not far away.
Yep.
He was looking after her for like half an hour at a time the other day for me when I was trying to work from home when they were both homesick. I'm really into golf at the moment. Loving golf.
Yep.
So I'm spending way too much time.
Where do you like to play?
I'm a member at Belvoir.
Belvoir Park. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yep.
Out Big Hill there.
Good friend Chris Novak plays a bit out there. He used to play for the Braves.
Oh yeah.
He used to commentate the basketball with him. He loves a hit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm obsessed with golf. Do a bit of judo as well.
Yep.
So that's a bit of fun. But the guys there are disappointed me and always pretty lazy at turning up to training. Play hockey, play field hockey as well.
Yeah.
Mountain bike ride.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just...
Do you know Timothy Burnham in the hockey world?
Yep.
Yep. We used to work together
Crackle,
at the old Crackle. The old Burnt Hand.
Yeah, no, Tim, he's a good hockey player.
Yeah, he was my boss when I worked up at the old Southern Cross.
Yep.
In a past life. God FM now, if anyone's listening. But yeah, so no, that's awesome. Any questions for me, mate?
What about you, outside of the podcast and golf, what do you get up to?
Oh, well, mate, this is basketball time. Basketball season's just started, so I've seen the TV podcast. Most people listening to this lately have been hearing the basketball talk.
Yeah.
I love watching the motorbikes. MotoGP. Phillip
Yeah.
Island's on next weekend, so I wouldn't mind getting down to that. And Duff season's coming up. So, yeah, lots of music, sport. That's just life, really.
Yeah.
And when you're doing a nice combination of both of those two, you live in the dream.
Keeps you happy.
Yeah, there's a few Duffs coming up on the calendar. Looking to get over to Portugal again next year, hopefully, for Boom Festival. Tickets for that go on sale this week. So, that'll be a birthday trip, hopefully.
Yep.
But yeah, no, just the brother had a baby, or his missus did not long ago, so I've been doing a lot of stuff with the family.
Yeah, nice.
Love doing the quiz with Nan every week. So
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, right now it's just coming into summer in Australia, like Melbourne and Victoria it's a pretty fun place to be.
Yeah, the weather's so good.
Yeah, so but yeah, no, basically, yeah, NBA season starts in a couple of weeks. I've told myself I'm not going to get to. Well, I mean, I used to watch every game every day and have them all on like the multiple screens that you can see behind here.
Yeah.
So I need to quail that a little bit this year. I haven't been watching the NFL as much as normal, and
Yeah.
whether or not that's a coincidence that the Vikings are 5-0 at the moment, without me watching as parochially as normal.
Yeah.
So I've got to make sure I stay away enough so if they keep winning,
Yep.
that's a good thing. But yeah, man, other than that, probably just keep coming to comedy shows, I guess.
Yeah, sweet.
I get involved in watching Kill Tony every week, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Highlight of the week, Tuesday night.
That's it. Who's your favourite on Kill Tony? Favourite regular, I guess.
Well, he's not a... Casey Rock is my
You
favourite.
like Casey? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he's my favourite. Like, again, it's an absurdity.
Yeah.
But when he hits that absurdity, that episode where he talks about the Roomba
Yep.
and the riff at the end of that, like, I need to go back and watch it. It is so good. Like, just, yeah, if you can find the one where Casey Rock talks about the Roomba on Kill Tony is just, for me, that is like peak comedy.
Yeah.
An absurdist guy, but also telling smart jokes. But they're simple jokes, a bit like you see for Dave sort of stuff. Like,
Yeah.
nothing that, yeah, I don't know why, but I'm not really into that whole self-confessional style so much.
Yeah, me neither. The psychiatrist type stuff.
Yeah, or yeah. I'm more into silliness.
Yeah.
I agree.
I agree.
It's silly.
Well, that's a good way to finish it on. So we've given them Super Dave to listen to, Casey Rocket, obviously Kill Tony, and Rudy Ray Moore.
Yep.
And the Emu Wars.
Yep.
That's coming out Tuesday, the Emu War. And of course, over my back fence, this Friday night at Mackenzie Quarters.
Yep, 6:15. So far, so good. Myself, Jim Hallowell, and Mike Elliott are doing a stand-up comedy show. It's only like $18 tickets, so
Yep.
yeah, go to BendigoComedyFestival.com.
Yeah,
We got the tickets.
Of course, Dave Hughes, I think that's nearly sold out. Damien Callanan, the gala's on Wednesday. It's all happening around
Yeah,
Bendigo.
gala's sold
anywhere
out,
comedy.
so, yeah.
sold out. Unlucky. Other than that, we can also see you regularly or bi-regularly at the Queen's Arms in Cambria.
Yeah,
Is that right?
Cambria the third Wednesday of every month, and the Queen's Arms the first Thursday, and also Handlebar. We also got comedy at Handlebar, which is the third Thursday of every month. So
Oh, perfect.
yeah, a bit going
Are
on.
we going to start doing our own Kill Tony or not?
Well,
I have to be funnier.
we'll work it out. It'll be fun.
How about you be Tony? I'll be Red Bear.
Yeah, what's Greblo's role?
Greblo's the guest that comes in and we just shit on.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. So you can find more from me, I guess, at Trentoff Music on Soundcloud if you want to listen to the tunes. We're actually down at Handlebar just last week. We did a 5-hour set. That was good fun.
Yes.
Instagram at Trent B Love. Whereabouts can we find you?
Poppa Rose on Instagram.
How's that? Rose spelled.
ROS.
Okay.
E.
Yep.
Yeah, so Poppa POPPA ROSE. Instagram and just Poppa Comedian on Facebook.
Cool. Trentoff Music. Trent Love on SoundCloud. Listen to all the tunes. Anything else?
Peace out.
Peace, love, and comedy. Obrigados, vemos. Mwah.
That's a true story. You won't read that in any Bible. Because we are the living. We are the living here. We are the